So yeah, I've been streaming for 5 days now. I started trying to do soccer news. Then I realized I just want to rant and talk about random stuff. I've been doing that for the last couple of days. I'm trying not to look at my views so much. But if some of the videos, like long form videos I'm making, are actually getting some views, like 20, 30, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on content creation. I think content creation might be, if done right, like the easiest job. Or it's like not the easiest job, but one of the jobs where you have the most leverage, or like the lowest risk, or like the highest return to risk business models, in my opinion. And I'll explain why now. But yeah, it's not easy in terms of anyone can do it, content creation and streaming. I think obviously it's not that hard physically compared to working in a farm, but you could say the same about white collar jobs, like working in finance is not that physically hard, but white collar jobs are a lot more respected than content creation, right? The thing with content creation is like a lot of people make a lot of money, and it seems like they're not doing that much, and that's why people hate on them in a way. But that's similar to entertainment or sports, which is also entertainment, where like soccer players don't do that much either, and they make a lot of money. Or like TV host, like I think the closest thing to streamers and to content creators are like Jimmy Fallon, or TV hosts, like for older people to understand it, and they make a pretty good living, right? They make millions of dollars. However, with content creation, you have a whole show and it's just yourself, it's just one person, because technology has advanced in a way that it allows us to do a lot more with just one person. Like for example, I'm streaming just with my computer, and it has a camera, it has a microphone, it has OBS, which is like OBS is a free program that maybe without it I wouldn't be able to stream. And I've been lucky to live in a day and age where OBS exists, right? And then there's video editors that are free also. So like the barriers to entry are none. So it's super meritocratic. So, but basically that it's very easy in that sense where there's no barriers to entry. But then at the same time, there's a lot of competition, of course, because since there's no barriers to entry, anyone can do it. It's a lot of competition, and also we take some stuff for granted. Like most people my age know how to edit because they made a video maybe for a school project or maybe for fun. But like if I try to get my mom into doing social media to earn some extra income, like she doesn't really know how to use the phone. She doesn't really know how to edit properly. It's like gonna take some time. So it's easy to us, but it's not easy to everyone. And at the same time, technology has made it easier. So we're just lucky that we have the internet and we have computers that content creation kind of relies on, and those things have advanced so fast and so much that it's made it super easy. So it is true that it's an easier way to make money than before, but it's the same as it's an easier way to make money to work as a white collar job than in a farm, right? So the trend is that jobs become easier each time, right? And then I think with content creation and social media, it's like, well, I'll say first why I think it's one of the best business models. Well, first, there's like it's super cheap to produce, right? Like I have a computer already, so each video I produce costs me basically zero. It just costs me time. Then the product doesn't decay. Like the product stays the same forever. The only way it decays is if I'm making a video maybe about like the news that happened yesterday, then people are not going to be interested in watching it tomorrow. Or I mean, not tomorrow, but like in a year. But if I'm making a video now about my opinion on love, then maybe it's like timeless. So people can watch it at any point and it's not going to decay. Like the product has the same quality when I produce it until forever. Then the cost of selling a new product is zero as well. Once I post it, it doesn't really matter how many people watch it. It costs me the same to produce, which is zero. Anyways. Then the algorithm finds I make the product, and there's an algorithm that finds the consumers, the buyers directly, automatically. I don't need to do anything. I just need to make the best product possible. Imagine if I was like a shoe seller or a shoemaker, and I would just have to focus on making the best possible shoe, and then I just like throw it into the air, and then it finds automatically people who want to buy it, and then the money just comes to me. So basically it removes the middleman, and like the distribution is automatic and I don't need to focus on it. So that only works because of the internet and because of algorithms. So that's super cool and super good, and why content creation is a good business model. Then also it seems like people are like consuming also because of the algorithms, it's super meritocratic, right? There's not as much much nepotism or like pay to win. You just need to focus on the best quality product, which sometimes can be confused with clickbaiting and engagement maxing and all of that. But I think over time we'll overcome that, and we will have high quality stuff when you do. I mean, there is already a lot of high quality stuff, but it will be like the quality stuff will replace the slop. And then at the same time, a lot of people are like consuming media all day. So it is true that there's a lot of competition, but there are also so many people consuming, and most people don't really want to record themselves and expose their face to others and share their opinions publicly. So I do think that there's more, I definitely know there's more people consuming than people producing content. In terms of the demand and the demand of content, the demand and offer of content and viewers, I do think it's pretty similar. It's not like there's so much demand that whoever posts is going to make a living. Like, it's still competitive out there, and it's getting more competitive time because more people are posting content, but I still think it's a good opportunity. But also one thing to keep in mind, that the demand is limited. Like, human attention is it's a finite commodity, well, not commodity, but a finite asset. And you can calculate just by like the amount of humans that exist times the hours awake they have, or the hours of awake they have that they dedicate to entertainment, and that's like the demand, and it's limited. So right now, like, it seems like all of the demand is met with offer, but some is higher quality than others. Like, I'm sure there's people that are watching content or doing something for entertainment that they don't really like, or that if there was something better they would replace it with. So we as content creators need to try to fill that space for them and reach the demand. But I'm just saying this because I do think in the future it might be like there's so much offer that it's very hard to break through the noise. I think nowadays it's still possible to go from like me, like someone unknown, to potentially growing following enough to like make a living, but maybe in the future it might be a lot more difficult because there's going to be a lot more content. There's going to be more people making content. There's going to be AI content, and from the same people making content, they're going to be producing more content. So it's going to grow exponentially. And then I feel like there's going to be, at least in the West, I think people are going to I don't know. I don't know if people are going to reduce their entertainment or not. I do agree that we're going to go back to like physical entertainment, like doing in-person events. But at the same time, it will keep on increasing. I think we'll do both. I think we'll do like less work, more entertainment, and out of that entertainment there will be more scrolling, but at the same time, more in-person events. So I do think it's still a good time to, well, like it doesn't really matter if it's a good time or not. Like you should, if you want to do it, just do it. But if I'm trying to like analyze it as from like a business perspective, I still see opportunity, but that opportunity is closing each time, or at least it's going to be harder to do because and then maybe there's like other countries like Africa and countries that are developing that are going to start, like right now not all of the countries have internet yet, I believe, or they're not using social media as much. So I think once they do that'll be a big audience, and with automatic translation, there's going to be a lot of viewers, and then if the economy grows, there's going to be businesses that want to sell ads, and maybe your daily vlog about how you go to high school in France is not that interesting right now to people, but maybe for people in Africa it is. So maybe there's an untapped market there. And but the thing is, a strategy that I will be doing, and I feel it's gonna make it difficult for other people to break through the noise, is that there's like gonna be more editing tools and more posting tools in a way that, like me, without a team, I will be able in the future to like produce maybe like 100 pieces of content a day, or maybe let's say I'll start maybe like with 10 and grow eventually to like 100, and posting like 10 platforms. So getting like, and in different formats, so being able to reach the audience in the space they want. And that will allow me to, I will not have to be like famous or anything, but I'll be able to have so many different sources of income that I'll be able to sustain myself. And I could be like, my plan right now is like hop on here on live and talk for like an hour, and then out of that just make a bunch of clips and make a bunch of segments and just post on different platforms and just get the information to the right people. And I don't care if like 99% of people don't like it, but if there's 1% of people that do, and I post a bunch, I think eventually that'll be enough to sustain it. And also this is not my primary source of income, it's just like a side hustle or like a hobby. So I think that will be the method that's already going on with some people like Gary Vee, and I'm gonna apply it as well. So I'm kind of combining two, the methods of Gary Vee and the methods of Ludwig. So Gary Vee basically posts like a bunch of content that has like 10 channels, and I agree with his philosophy. And then Ludwig's philosophy is like, oh, you need to stream and then use streaming as like a recording session. So I'm going to combine those two and stream, use that as a recording session, and then post it in 10 platforms. And there's platforms that not that many people post, and eventually if you just keep on posting, you're going to break through the noise. And the way I'm going to do that is like there's editing tools that they can work while you do other stuff, while you work on other stuff. So I think that's going to be my strategy. Like I'm going to finish the 7-day challenge, and then I will start this new like programmatic editing and posting in 10 platforms process and see how that goes. Because this initial process was kind of to see what type of content I want to make. And I think what I want to do is just like this, just chatting content without, maybe I might do like some reactions, or like, I'm just doing this to like express my thoughts. So maybe to express my thoughts, I want to be talking about like a news article I read. So maybe I show that news article, but that's gonna be harder to edit. So I'm just gonna keep it as simple as possible so that the system works, and then evolve the system over time. So maybe I can just read news articles myself, which I think that could be cool because some people already read Reddit stories, right? And that seems to be successful. So maybe some people find it interesting. And then some final thoughts on content creation. I think we are at a stage where we are facing like a massive evolution change, or like we're like mutating due to digital technologies and like social, like reels and shorts and all of that. I feel like in the future there's going to be like people who were able to evolve and survive this like brain rot era, or this like doom scrolling era, and people that were left behind. Like the real people that are going to be in the permanent underclass, as they say, which I might talk about that in another video, are not the people who don't learn AI. The people who are going to be in the permanent underclass are the people that are constantly watching media and scrolling and losing all of their contact with the external reality, and like losing motivation. Because it does put, like at least in my experience, if I scroll too much, it does put me in a negative mindset, and it's a lot harder to do things. So you either like evolve and are able to like not fall into the trap of doom scrolling, or you're gonna be left behind. And on the other side is that I don't think it's enough to just not use reels, for example. I think what you actually need to do is be able to like tame the algorithm and dominate the beast and use it, but just use it for like an hour, because the information and like the access to like trends and what's going on culture is so valuable when you're using reels, and that you're gonna have to do that if you work in marketing, if you work like any business nowadays. Like a big part of their strategy is like, how can we market this on social media? So you need people, like it is an advantage, it is something, if you have that know-how, it is super valuable. So you need to be able to scroll, but smartly. You need to be healthy scrolling, because if not, if you scroll too much, you're gonna be left behind and be permanent underclass. And if you become like a Luddite and don't scroll and don't watch YouTube or anything, you're gonna be out of the conversation. So you're not gonna be like employable, or you're not gonna be able to create businesses, because you're not gonna be like, the world nowadays is so complex. It's not enough to just know about your city. You need to know about like what's going on out on the world, and all the trends and all the new businesses, and there's so much valuable information out there. At the same time, side note, it is true that sometimes I forget, is that there's information that this is very obvious, but sometimes as a Gen Z you forget that there's things that there's information that are not on the internet. Okay, like sometimes you might think like, oh, should I go to this event, or I can just watch the recording they're gonna post on YouTube later? And you're like, oh, might as well I can just do everything from my house. I don't need to leave. But there's a lot of information that is not posted on YouTube. A lot of information that just flows between people stays offline. So make sure to also invest in real life, and don't think YouTube and social media is like real life. It's very different than real life, and don't get lost in it. And like, for example, if you just on the internet all day, you might think everyone is like making millions out of YouTube shorts and that you are a failure. But instead, and you might think like, oh, people who it's impossible to become a lawyer anymore, and being a lawyer is like a waste of time. But actually not. Like, you can have a normal 9-to-5 career and have a successful life, a successful marriage, and be happy, and you don't need to be doing like what the new trend on e-commerce or posting shorts or whatever. But yeah, scrolling will be the determining factor between being successful in the future in the 21st century or not. The way you scroll will determine your future. And you might even want to hire someone to scroll for you, similar to back in the past where they had servants. The new rich, the smart rich, hire servants to scroll for them and synthesize that information and learn about the trends. They rot their brain for their bosses, and they synthesize that information. So one good strategy is you hire an assistant from like Colombia, one of those online assistants, and you force them to scroll the American algorithm to detect trends, and so then they can tell you, and you can then create businesses or make campaigns to profit off, or not profit, like survive and off the cultural scene, and what do people want, what do people think, which at the end of the day, all business is just products and services for other people. So yeah, so I think that will be a big thing that I'm preparing for, and in the future I'll give more advice, or not advice, because please don't listen to me, I'm just ranting random stuff. And the best advice I could give you is like turn off your phone and get off YouTube and go for a walk or something. Not like nothing that you learn on the internet is more valuable than going for like half an hour walk without any distractions. Like there's no piece of content that's gonna enlighten you more and discover your next success more than walking, which is kind of contradictory to what I just said. But you could do both. Like that's why you need to find a balance. Like sometimes it is if you are able to just do like half an hour a day, but if you've been watching YouTube for 2 hours and you like scrolling trying to see like like falling into the clickbait of like how to be rich or how to fix my diet, whatever, like that's not gonna work. Like just turn it off and go for a walk and think for yourself. It's not that hard. Whenever you have a question, whenever you have a thought, you don't need to immediately not justify, but you don't need to immediately check if it's true on it with AI or with YouTube. You can think for yourself, and don't just do things because sometimes you have an idea, then you look it up on YouTube, and if other people are saying the same, you feel like it's a good idea, and then you do it. But if not, you don't want to do it. But that doesn't make any sense. You should just follow your instincts more. Don't try to verify everything with others. But yeah, don't listen to advice, just go for a walk outside, and yeah, I'll talk more about what cultural norms I would do around the internet and how to use social media in a healthy way.